A pleasant afternoon, getting into the evening. Jason Phillips from Auto Appraise, just finishing up about a 3-hour long pre-purchase inspection on a 1955 Cadillac Coupe DeVille. I got it up on ramps, so we might as well get underneath it. 6237 DX on the trim tag, and that stood for a Series 62 Coupe DeVille. 331 cubic inch motor in nice original condition, bays all original. The plug wires are aftermarket, and we had a upgrade of a P-Tronics setup. Somebody nicely lettered the air cleaner. Got about 200 plus, maybe 300 still photos that I just got done taking after the examination on the car. Oil is clean and up to par. Actually, maybe a quarter quart high. And the transmission fluid is pink and doesn't smell unusual. Verified the engine number here. I don't have my flashlight in my hand, and verified the frame number. Let's see if I can get some light on that. Frame number there anyway, basically between the two middle spark plug wires down here on the rail. We've got a still that can be inserted there. Firewall's in nice shape, core support's in nice shape, aftermarket horn, stock power accessories. Nothing too unusual or abnormal to report in the condition under the hood. It's very presentable. Oops, getting some white balance going on here. Now bring it down. Oops, sorry about that. Starting up in the front suspension. Let's see. There we go. Stock backing plates and suspension components. The car's showing somewhere in the 80,000 mile range, but the speedometer is reported disconnected, so we don't know what's going on. It doesn't look like much recent rebuild has been done in the suspension. And left mimics, duplicates right. No brake cylinder wheel leaks that I can see. Frame rails are in good shape. Both sides look just like that. The bumper extensions look nice. Still photos, again, for the prospective buyer who hired me. 800-301-3886 if you need service like this. 300-ish guys around the country out doing inspections and reporting to you. I'm the only one that does videos, and the video goes directly to the guy who hired me before it gets published publicly on YouTube. So he gets to look at it first and decide if he's going to buy it or not. Then it becomes this cool commercial. A little bit of fluid leakage. Front main pan, there's the suspect, and a little bit of weepage going back, and it's hard to tell if that tranny pan weepage is of the tranny or not, because it's kind of a little bit oily right there, but not too bad. Starter was replaced according to the notes in the receipts. Floor supports, I can summarize by telling you all of them look like that. All the way back, the inner rocker structure looks great. It's a very solid survivor car. The splash pans and the front wheel openings are in really nice shape. Right there, we're absent a tie-down bolt on the corner of that splash pan. There's a hole drilled there anyway. But up in the back sides of the dog legs of the fenders, that's nice and clean. This very first frame support there is actually, it doesn't look like there's ever been a bushing mounted there. I don't really see where there's been physical repair work there, but I stepped on the floor pan and got a little bit of oil canning noise You see a set of cherry bombs on here. 3-speed hydromatic. Let me hit the pause button. It just occurred to me I might be filming this upside down. Let's hope not. I don't know what the cure for that is. Don't want to hit the reset button now, but right up there, there's no bushing, but I don't see a place for it to actually mount anyway. But that being said, anyway, moving on, there's been some repair to some fuel lines. Largely the fuel lines and brake lines are original except for some service parts. Original leaf springs are in good original shape. They still got a little bit of bow to them. And the car was lowered. If those were changed, you know, they have some surface buildup and whatnot, but if the car was reportedly lowered a while back before the person who owned it had it, so he didn't really know what was done to it. I don't see anything other than that to report any issues on. The exhaust system's in pretty good shape, 2 1/4 aluminized, and cross member frame. The whole underbody's in good shape. The fender skirts are looking good. Alright, at risk of looking foolish, I'm going to move this video back around to the right way I know it's supposed to be. So I do apologize for the upside downness of this video. And the photos are not upside down. Other than somebody hooking a chain on and kind of pulling the car at one point in time with a little bit of a dimple you can see there in the rear tail pan support, the bottom side of the car is in nice, solid, stable shape. Old tower style clamps on the fuel lines. I don't smell any fuel leakage here. There's very little active seepage or anything of that nature on the rear end housing. That being said, it does not look restored. But the back splash panels, they look nice. Take a peek. Both sides look the same. Frame rails don't look like they've had any pulling on them either end. So underbody of the car is in really stable, original survivor condition. Wheels and caps while I'm down on the ground. Later model all-season steel belted radials, 235/75 15s, and the hubcaps are in really nice shape, probably repopped. A little bit of cracking on the white walls, but I didn't see any dry cracking in the tread. All 4 are that way. The exploded view, I get that right, quickly give us a peek at what I saw. The vehicle doesn't have much to report in terms of paint nicks or damage. Interior of door jambs were painted and they are very presentable. Not a lot of overspray, a small paint chip on the bottom, and these could stand just a little bit of cleanup. It's not paint damage. This is a scrape, contact scrape. We've got our little rubber bumper cushion is absent, and the 2 holes drilled where the plastic VIN plate used to go, they often break off, and this one is no stranger to that, but I've located the VIN on the frame, and there you go. We've got aluminum original step plates. You can see these big old heavy doors drag a little bit. They don't require too much slamming, and they certainly don't have much hang time to them as far as the bushings being worn. Bottom of the door skin corner is in nice shape. Very little oxidation there. Both door jambs are similar. Flappers are working. While I'm on this side, we've got some stage 1 and 2 pitting that you can feel on the vent, on the quarter window frames, and we've got a little bit of delamination glue showing. And that, I'm gonna slam this door while I'm up here. 2 fingers, not too bad. A little bit of delamination on the vent glass, and a little stage 1 patina on the uprights right in here. A little bit of pitting. This is probably an original windshield. Small stone pecks like this in various locations and a few ice scraper scratches, but a very usable window in most states. I don't think you'd get nicked for that. Great looking chrome all the way around. Really nothing to complain about, nothing heavily pitted or whatnot. All the surround chrome is polished nicely. Rear window glass looks great. A couple hairline ice scraper scratches again. Flappers are connecting and raising and lowering. Taillight lenses, taillight chrome, really, really good. Chrome extensions on the bumpers, very, very nice. 3-piece units. Uprights are in nice shape. A little bit of staining in the plating. You can kind of see some exhaust fumes or whatnot got on there, and that might polish up a little bit with some 3000, but it's a little bit, just some streaking on there. Other than small polishing scratches, the chrome work was done nicely. The car is super straight down both sides, straighter than it would have been. Again, no complaints over here on the chrome and on the trim. We do have some pitting on the wiper stanchion trim, and those wipers are inoperable due to not having a wiper motor in the car anymore. That hardware was deleted. I'm not sure why, but it's not there. Original script, headlight bezels, bullets, grille, pretty fabulous. It could all stand a coat of polish, but nothing to cry about. Oh, there's our trim. Hood lines look good, deck lines look good. Small touch up here, and a few small stone pecks, ping, 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 ping around there. Great reflective quality for a diamond white, pearl white, kind of that late 90s, early 2000 era color. Small chip on top of the fender. Small mark, small chip off the corner of the fender. Some of those were noted on the exploded view. I ran around the entire car and have still photos of the digital paint meter and the magnet. So just to give the onlooker an idea of the magnetic adhesion and the depth of the paint. Overall, without going through the whole car again, it can be gone through in still photos, but there's 23 and 25, and a lot of the readings on the car are anywhere from 15 to there's 12. So that's 12 is like the thickness of $3 bills. 25 here. As I'm going down the quarter panel, look where I'm at. I'm not getting a beep, which means I'm really not getting a read. So what that tells us is whoever finished the car skimmed the entire side of the car. 26 on the skirt. We have magnetic adhesion, but it slides, it doesn't hold itself. But if you listen to the little arm, we have adhesion, so the bodywork isn't super thick. But that's a long quarter to straighten out, so somebody did that. So really, as far as down right in this area, a little more straightening and filler work down low, but the door skins and the corners and the dog legs of the fenders, all of that's very nice. Not a scary amount of filler by any stretch of the imagination, in my opinion. Good readings just practically everywhere. 15 to 30. So we've covered the paint and the body and the chrome and the underbody, transmission, engine bay. The interior I don't have much to comment on because it was done very nicely. Small little paint chip going on there, but the leather upper wraps on the door armrest were nice. A little bit of stage 1 and 2 pitting on this original trim. Power window switch for the passenger window is not working. That one's not going up or down. Dome lights are working. Headliners in marvelous shape. Seat covers, seat backs, all of that is very, very nice. Side panels were repainted nicely. A pleated kind of a tuck and roll look, including the package tray, which wouldn't be stock, but it's pretty cool. And the trim back here, the ashtrays and whatnot, even all that was redone. So a fair amount of money spent on the chrome and whatnot of the car. Steering wheel appears in nice shape. I did a still photo of the digital temperature gauge before I took off. 68 degrees, 67 degrees engine temp. That 81,686 miles not stock because reported not working. Aftermarket radio, that was not mentioned in the advertisement, but that's not OEM. And gauges here, we'll cherry bomb rumble. Temperature you can see is way down. No tachometer, sounds like we're idling at about 800 though. Alright, I'm going to back it out, run it through the parking lot, check the lights. We'll call it good. Alright, I had to garner some help. Brake lights, backup lights. We got a third brake light that obviously is not stock. Turn signals right, left, thank you. Brake lights again. And then reverse lights again. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you. Let's get to the headlights. Can you drop down to parking lights, please? Yeah, that's brights. Yep. 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 Turn signals. Thank you. Oh, that's flashing, just a little bit harder to see. Sounds good. Engine sounds good. Might have a little bit of an exhaust tick or a lifter tick. Difficult to discern. Here, I'll jump in when you back up a little more. Thanks. These are consignment cars, so they prefer to drive them as opposed to having me drive them, which I'm okay with. A dark ride. This one's going to be kind of weird. All right, got about 30 pounds of cold oil pressure. Stereo comes on. There we go. Some nice Christmas jams.
I'll take it in Congress real quick.
Sounds great. Can you spin that light switch and see if you can get the
That's what I was trying. I don't
dash lights to go up?
think the dash lights work.
Okay. We'll put a little light here on our subject. There we go, now we got dash lights. Steering wheel is in really nice shape. Got the, I'd like to take that suicide knob home, can I?
Fortunately not. Comes with the car.
And the speedometer is disconnected, which means the odometer is disconnected, so we're just guessing at speeds here, but
We're going about 40 about now. 30, 35.
we'll, maybe what we'll do is we'll get up here and when you turn around, we'll come to a stop and feel it go through the gears.
Right.
Temperature's starting to come up. We'll keep an eye on that. Even after I shut the video off, we'll keep the car running and let it run for a little while and make sure it's not overheating. Jason Phillips from Auto Appraise, 800-301-3886. I'm finishing up a test drive in the dark because in Michigan it gets dark about 4:30, 5 o'clock in December. All right, sounds good.
Up to 25% off grocery store prices. Oh, really?
This light's probably blinding you, isn't it?
No, it's okay.
Whatsoever, knowing no one cut you a break on a 36
Turn that radio down. Drop down into reverse. Gas gauge appears to be working. Got about a quarter tank showing. Maybe you can stomp out of here and just get this from first to second. There's first to second. There's second to third.
Good cruising speed coming around the corner.
All right. way up here, can you kind of take your hands off the steering wheel a little bit lightly and then step on the brakes and see if we got much pull going on?
Let me just get up around the corner here. Okay, straight, hands off the wheel.
Okay. All right, we're still in the street. I said that counts.
Braked a little harder than I thought. It's actually got really good brakes on it. Power brakes.
Okay, I felt both those shifts again. We got inside turn signals operating.
Yes, sir, right here.
Sorry to get that in your face, thanks.
That's okay. You want to see the right?
So kind, yeah, thanks.
There you go.
Not that I don't trust you, but you know.
That's okay.
Now the wipers are not working because the wiper motor's been deleted.
Yes.
All right. And could you do me a favor and push that horn button? All right.
Good.
That's good. We'll come back and we'll kick the blower fan on, and temperature still maintained nice and smooth. Okay, if we run it for another 10 or 15 minutes.
You got it.
All right, thanks, man. If you want, just leave it right here outside the door, and I'll take a pause here, and I'll we'll let her warm up. Thank you.
Yes,
Brake
sir.
light's working. Parking brake is working. That's nice.
Yes, sir.
All right. We'll let it run for just a minute until it's out of gas. All right. Pressure still around 25. Temps just starting to creep up. Okay, I'll come back and check that in a few minutes. Nope. We didn't show those earlier. All right. And then that driver's window, please. Obviously it was down before. So the only one we're having trouble with is the passenger window. And real quick, I did not show the trunk to the buyer. Trunk's trimmed out nicely with a matching kit. The carpet's glued down. I couldn't peel it up, but I peeled a little bit where I could and took a couple photos. Didn't see really any deterioration down in the spare tire well pocket. Got a service manual and some old extra parts. I think I saw a power steering pump in there. Floor pan though is in good shape. We have a spare and a jack. The back side of the deck lid's in really nice shape. Skin lips look great. A little bit of oxidation and bleeding, but no deep decay or rust to be seen. There was a little bit of paint chippage right here along the upper gate. I think somebody actually glued the seal. That's actually coming off. Those are LED upgraded lights, so it's a little bit brighter back here than it would normally be. The doors open and close pretty nicely. I did the driver's door, I did not do the passenger door. Here's your keys. Here, let me close that a little easier. There we go. So again, I'm going to hit the pause button here for a minute, and we'll let this thing, actually we're going to, we'll let it run right where it's sitting. Jason from Appraise, finishing up a pre-purchase inspection down in Detroit, Michigan. That making just a little bit of lifter noise. Left bank. Didn't see any smoke. Any unusual nature. All right, back on the gauges again, and I don't really see that we've got anything unusual to report. We've evened out at 180 here after a bit, and we've got good oil pressure, 25 pounds. I don't think we're going to see any other changes, so it seems like it's running cool. The trunk slams a little hard, but it does go down. And the heater slides are working. Bit of heat coming out. Ashtray's in good shape. The glove box does not illumine, and the clock does not operate. Although I didn't see a light in there. Original manual or something close. A few small paint chips on the dash. Pretty nice looking driver if that's what you're looking for. Nice solid base of a car. Gotta check the fuse for the dash lights, but other than that, well, I guess we better turn the lights off too, else it's gonna die. All right, thanks for hanging out. Have a nice day.